Into it. Welcome back to Cryptopia, where we go over the wet and wild happening in NFT land. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way in. Today, continuation of what's been going on, what the hell is happening in Godjira land. If you haven't seen my first video, I suggest go checking it out. You don't really need to see them in any particular order, but you get a little bit more background history in the first video than this video. So this video, I want to go over some of the work in progress and concept ideas Godjira has going on, like the mini casino. Yes, what's a good project without a little degen gambling? The mini casino is, of course, a game of or series of games that will, of course, run on Jira token, their native token, and will be for whitelist spots and other NFTs. Maybe some other stuff thrown into there, maybe some merch and stuff like that later on, but those are the things they mentioned. So something to note that Genesis collection and Gen 2 ratios are different. So as I've stated in the previous video, the Genesis collection is the God tier, having way better odds of winning than Gen 2 will. It'll still win a lot, just not as much as because Gen 2 are worthless. Yeah, I'm kidding. They're not worthless. Okay, I'll stop ragging on Gen 2, but obviously the Genesis collection is the God tier, and that's the one you're going to want to try and always have on you. So let's talk Jira Tank. Now, this is something I haven't really seen a lot of projects do. Using the project's trading vault, Jira Tank is a play on Shark Tank. I'm sure you can tell where I'm going with this now. Here's how they kind of have it set up, right? So someone from the community provides information on a project and why they like it. If the council, the Godjira governing body, likes it too, they can attempt to flip it. Godjira keeps 75% as they are taking pretty much all the risks, and the rest goes to the one who gave them the lead in the first place, so not a bad deal. And the funds Godjira makes goes back into the vault, so no one is really taking anything home but the one who generated the lead in the first place. This will be ranked, they said, so what I mean by this is that if you keep providing good opportunities for flips in the future, keep presenting good NFTs to get into, you become like a preferred or well-established and trusted person who can then get them to put all of their money that they've got into a made-up project and then rug pull the shit out of them. I'm kidding. Don't do that unless you're going to give me 25% and go right ahead. But seriously, this is something I think is pretty unique and cool of the Godjira team to do. Here's another thing I haven't seen a lot of people or projects do, a lottery ticket system. So they got a lottery ticket NFT system. So basically you list your NFT, generate a number of lottery tickets. I think you can decide this. People can buy, and if all the tickets are bought, you have a chance to make more than the actual floor price, and others can buy the ticket for a chance to win at a lower than the actual floor price. But all tickets need to be sold in order for this to happen. Otherwise, all parties get their crypto/NFTs back. Now, I thought this was a little strange at first, but as I really thought about it, it's actually a pretty cool idea. All things working out, it would be worth, the little a ticket buyer might potentially lose and the big amount the seller might gain. Or, if you buy at a lower price and you gain as well there. So interesting all the same to me. Next up is 8080. So listen, this team doesn't stop pushing opportunities for pretty much everybody. As long as you're with them, they're going to take care of you. And a lot of these things are things I've never seen done by other projects before. So 8080 is one-stop shop for NFT creators. No dev team needed. How does that work? So what does this mean? With 8080, you'll be able to set up tokens, names, addresses, wallets, the whole community pretty much instantly, right? Wallets will be able to connect to marketplaces that will be ready to go with layer 2 connectivity, staking, all you need to make your NFT project shine with little cost and little headache. Trying to find people to do this, trying to, sift through the garbage, who can get it done, and then planning the whole thing out. It's like they've already taken all of that away. Hey, come with us. We'll take care of you. This is something I'm sure will make a lot of people smile as it makes things a whole lot more obtainable. So what's the catch? You need to own a Jira NFT. Shocking. A Godjira NFT. Shocking. Like any other project, they will have their own metaverse, and within it, a land sale is coming. I don't have a lot on this as it doesn't really matter too much. Obviously, it matters, but I wanted to highlight the new, crazy, wild stuff that they were trying to do rather than the metaverse that everyone has as well. Though important, I just wanted to. They had so many cool, crazy things happening that I felt that it was necessary to showcase that instead. But within the land and the land sale stuff, something I think is really cool is that they're going to have like a Monopoly like game system programmed into it. So let's say you land on someone else's own property, you'd owe them Jira, for example. I'm sure there will be way more nuance to it than that. But it sounds like that'll be something kind of like that, but like way cooler than that, I'm sure. Now, the Godjira project is not without its faults. Godjira was forced to push back its launch, and it defended itself by stating they wanted to launch right and not rush things. Given the current current state of the market at the time that this was all going on, a little bit different than what the market is right now, which arguably is maybe worse. But they wanted to let it settle down, let there be more volume to OpenSea. At the time, the volume was the lowest in like 100 days, something like that. But they were still optimistic to tell the community they would keep working out on partnerships and getting people on board. I'm sure it's a sentiment that a lot of people, didn't like. It didn't win them any favors with whomever was on the fence, no matter how reasonable I think it sounded. But with countless partnerships behind them, Godjira has a lot of friends in a lot of places and definitely delivers value. Like, how about, yeah. I ain't done. You guys probably thought I was done listing shit. I'm not done listing shit yet. So, Godjira and Dreamland Genesis have partnered to create this limited edition comic, which, apparently will serve as a lifetime pass for both Godjira and Dreamland Genesis events and whatever else they have. They also have this exclusive X project. I'll be honest, I know nothing about this one, but it sounds excellent. Yeah, that's right. I made that joke and I don't care. In fact, I feel exhilarated by it. But seriously, so much to unpack with this team. Now, when I hear about how much a project is doing, that's a big red flag for me. I mean, if you're trying to do too much too soon, but all that I've mentioned, not all of it has launched. And don't forget, this is a team that had pushed back their own launch to make sure it was done right. So I see no reason why they wouldn't take their time if it was necessary to launch everything as they plan. Also, keep in mind that some places, sometimes ideas, concepts, they don't develop in a way that is, necessarily useful for the overall project and the people and the community and etc. And I see these guys, because they are so community focused, on being the kind of people that if they felt they were overwhelmed by a particular segment that they promised to put in but couldn't, they would brush that aside, right? Or tell their community, hey, this isn't really working as the way we planned it out. We're going to scrap it. I could definitely see them doing that if it was necessary. But that's kind of it for now. There's still so much more. I'm probably going to go deep into their partnerships because they do have a bunch of partnerships with stuff that's not, it's NFT related, but also not necessarily NFT related, right? They have ways of reaching to the mainstream, we'll say, or the normies, if you want, out there outside of the NFT space, which is, NFTs are pretty niched, you know what I mean? So even with the popularity that just happened over the past year, it's still, a lot of people they really know nothing other than like a Bored Ape Yacht Club image is the only thing they kind of have in their heads, right? So, that's it for this video, keeping this one a little bit short. The other one will probably be even shorter, but it will go over some of the other bigger partnerships that will be NFT related, but also some of the stuff that's steps outside the NFT communities, the stuff they're doing with PG and Evolve and Everse and stuff like that. So look forward to that. That'll be the third, maybe the final video, depending. But like, comment, and subscribe.